Bitcoin is creating coins or mining coins 24/7, 365. So whether you eat, sleep, drive, or think about it or not think about it, your mind is creating coins. And I'm just going to go into giving you basically a update or background to the digital coin world. So let me make sure I'm pinned up here for everybody to see. So Lisa and I got involved in this at the end of, well, mid-December of 2024. So it's just been 12 months, really, just 13 months now that we've been with this. Like David said, we didn't understand cryptocurrency. We didn't know how to spend it, but a friend said, you need to look at this. This is a tremendous opportunity. So we looked at it, and I said, well, as I say with everything, any opportunity, well, we need to go home and pray about it. And as we were sitting there in the Pizza Hut, Lisa's phone vibrated, and she got on it, of course, and started skipping through it. And I'm sitting there getting upset because we're talking to this guy, and Lisa's on her phone. and she said, you won't believe what I just got. I said, what's that? She said, I haven't talked to this guy in probably 8 years, but I just got a prophetic word that God is in the process of moving the wealth of the unrighteous to the righteous, and he's doing it through cryptocurrency. And I said, whoa, you got to be kidding me. So I said to the guy that was talking to us, I said, well, I told you we need to go home and pray about it, but we don't. Where do I sign up? That's not to put any pressure on anybody or any guilt. I mean, you got to work with your peace, go with the peace that you have, because there's various levels that you can enter into this opportunity, and I'll go over those in our session just so that you can come in at the level that is at your peace and you can move on from that. So that's what we did. So we've been in it 13 months. And as I said, it was 8 cents a coin. I remember that now. It's 8 cents a coin when we first got in. And so we were able to get some understanding of it. I said to my son in Australia, who's been in cryptocurrency for a while, and this is how he explained it to me. Because I didn't understand it. He said, well, it's like this. I have actually bought Bitcoin and some XRP and some Ethereum and hold on to it. And then I got to wait 6 months, 12 months, 18 months for the price of that coin to go up higher than obviously what I bought it for, and then go back on the market, onto the exchanges and sell that. And then if I need more, I have to buy at that existing price, that new price, and hang on to it again for another 6, 12 months, hoping it goes up. He said, it's like this, Dad. He said, it's like going to these various orchards out here in the countryside, and you pick up a case of Granny Smith apples or Honey Crisp apples or Fuji apples, and you take them home and you stick them in your refrigerator. And then that's your cold storage. And then you have to sit and wait. You keep checking the markets. You may have bought them all for 15 cents each. And so you have an idea what you want the price to be when you sell them. So maybe the price in the market for these apples go up to 25 cents each. So that's a good thing. So you take all these apples to the market and sell them. Well, now you think, well, I bought them for 15, sold them for 25. That's 10 cents each I made on all these apples. So you may have made several $100s, which is great. You didn't do much for that. But the trouble is now those apples are worth 25 cents each. So to do the same thing, you got to buy those apples. So Joshua said to me, if what you're explaining to me is right, then you got the opportunity to buy the apple tree, not the apples. And the apple tree keeps producing apples. And so if you're interested in this and you have an opportunity to buy the apple, the apple tree and not the apples, then go ahead and buy it. He said, because if you take your apples to the market and sell them for 25 cents each, and you come home again, go out in the backyard, guess what? Your apple tree's dropped some more apples on the ground, maybe 5 or 10 a day. And so you just wait 6 months, box those up, take them to the market and sell them, come home, guess what? Your apple tree is continuing to produce apples. So don't even think about buying coins. This opportunity is not buying coins. We're not telling you go and buy Ethereum, go and buy Bitcoin and hang on to it. And as David said, keep checking the market and hope you sell at the high and not the low, and trying to wrap your mind around day trading and all that nonsense. Just go and buy an apple tree and it's producing the apples for you. So that's how he explained it to me. And then the lights turned on. That's what I needed. because I didn't understand anything about cryptocurrency. So that's the opportunity we're presenting to you. You know what? I would say we are somewhere between the horse and buggy and the gas-powered engine. We're right in there in terms of looking at finances. So don't be left behind. If you are with the horse and buggy and you're a blacksmith and you're putting the shoes on the horses, your tendency is to say, we'll never go to the automobile. Yeah, a few rich people will buy automobiles, but it won't be something for the masses. We won't move there as an economy. And then, in the 1950s, we have the last horse-drawn carriage in New York because every man and his dog's got an automobile. So that's where we're going with digital currency. So there will come a time, and maybe more quickly than what we realize, where our dollars and cents will not be using anymore because of the deflation of the dollar. And it's not that things are getting more expensive. It's that our dollar is not getting spread like it used to. So 50 years ago, buying a house, buying a car, at such an amount of dollars, and now 50 years later, you're spending twice as much. Well, it's really not the price of sheetrock, nails, 2x4s that are going up. It's the value of the money that's going down. So you need more money to buy the same thing. And that's why if you got your money trapped in a 401k or an IRA account and it's just sitting there, you think to yourself, well, at least I'm not losing it. Well, you are. If we got 5 to 6 to 8% inflation, you're actually losing money because the price of the outdoor world, the economy out there, with the devaluation of the dollar, you have to spend more dollars to get the same thing. So if you're looking at your IRA and it's got X number of dollars on it and it's increasing by 1.5% interest and yet inflation's at 6%, you're losing money. You really are. Even though the dollars look the same, when you take that out to spend it, you can't spend it on the things you thought you could because of the price of things going up caused by the devaluation of the dollar. So you want to get that money out and you do want to put it into something that's rising, and cryptocurrency is rising, and it's a digital world. We've lived in the digital world maybe for 20 years. If you've ever used PayPal, Zelle, Venmo, Cash App, all that sort of stuff, that's all digital currency. There's no dollars and cents moving around. It's all digital. So we've been operating in the digital world for some time with all those various apps, even your bank account getting your paycheck at the end of the week. If that's deposited digitally from your employer, that all comes in. There's nobody driving from Wells Fargo over to Chase to put money in your account. It all happens in zeros and ones. So that's the world we live in. But cryptocurrency, what is that? Well, it's basically digital currency, but it operates outside the banking system. So all the thousands of different coins out there that you can buy coins and basically bet on them, you want to find a coin that's going to do really well and get in early to buy the mine that produces the coin. So what produces these digital coins? They're computer systems or computer networks. So how this works, and this is true for Bitcoin, Ethereum, all of those layer one technology. XRP is another one. So layer one means it's the company that owns the computer nodes that produces the coins. If it's layer two technology, then those companies are using layer one companies to do the transactions. Layer two don't own the mines or the computer nodes. So you want to be in a layer one technology, which means your company or you own the computer nodes that's doing all the transactions. How it starts off, you may have 1 million computer nodes on this network, and they're all linked together. And the algorithm that's been created to start these feeds in mathematical equations into the network, and all these little computer nodes compete with each other to solve these high-end mathematical equations. When one computer node gets the equation solved, it gets a reward of 250 coins. Then it starts up again. Another thing's fed in, another transactions fed in, or mathematical equation, and away it goes. So every time a transaction is made or a mathematical equation is solved, there's 6 other computer nodes that have to validate that transactions. So it's a system that has transparency. You can see all this thing operating in all these computer algorithms, and it's backed up by 6 other computer nodes that validate that. So nobody can get into these networks nefariously and steal and take things away, etc., because there's validation with computers. People that own these computer nodes, if they take their digital coins out and go to an exchange like Bitmart or Dex-Trade or somewhere and sell those coins, and then they get the money out based upon what the value of that coin is at that time, that's a transaction that's come out of the network. Or people saying, man, I want to buy coins, particularly now the value of the coins is so low, I want to get as many as I can. So if they're buying coins, that's another transaction. So every transaction that happens on this network is validated with 6 other computers. So when I got on my computer, on my phone actually the other day, and I went into my app and transferred some coins to somebody else, I had to sit there for maybe a minute, and it saw validation 1, validation 2, validation 3, and there was 6 other computers that was validating that transaction before it released it to make sure it was legit. So that's basically how it works. In the network, over a period of 24 hours, there's about 95,000 coins produced through all these mathematical equations and the transactions that are happening. And every 3 minutes, all those transactions are locked up in a digital ledger, and that's what we call a blockchain. It's a little digital ledger that has all those transactions in it, and so that's locked up into one chain or one block, and then it starts again. So every 3 minutes, we're creating a new blockchain with all these transactions in it, and based upon the computers that solved these equations and did the transactions and validated the transactions, the reward that's given is digital coins. So all those coins are shared on a daily basis. So there's 95,000 coins that are produced on a daily basis. Those are divided up amongst the people that own the mines. And that's what we're presenting to you today, the tremendous opportunity of owning a mine, a computer node that shares in the rewards of these digital coins on a daily basis. The more digital nodes or computer nodes that you own, the greatest share you have. So if you only have one mine, you get one share of that 95,000 coins. And as more computer nodes are purchased by people like you and me, then that 95,000 that's produced on a daily basis, those digital coins are spread out thinner because there's more computer nodes that have been purchased that want a share of that. So ultimately, there'll be 1 million mines or computer nodes that actually are purchased. We're about 23% purchased right now. I'm going to show you some of these numbers in a minute. So that's really how digital currency works, and you can transfer it in seconds around the world because it bypasses the banks. Now, how do you get it out if it bypasses the banks? Well, I have a Coinbase account, and that holds some of my cryptocurrency actually in the form of USDC. That's equivalent 1-to-1 to the dollar, but it's crypto, USDC. So if I sell some of my coins on Dex-Trade on the exchanges or Bitmart, then I can take what I have sold those coins for, move it over to Coinbase. Why to Coinbase? Why to Kraken? Why to Robinhood? Because those are exchanges that are recognized and regulated in the United States. So because they're regulated by the United States, I can tie my bank account to my account with Coinbase. So on Coinbase, I have my Wells Fargo account, my Chase account tied to my account there. So when I get money from selling coins, I can either take it out and offload it into my bank account, or I can spend it right there in my wallet, my trusty wallet here. I have a Coinbase debit card, Visa debit card. So I just link my debit card to my USDC in Coinbase, and I can spend this at 100 million places in the world, anywhere that takes Visa card, airfare, hotel, rental car, meals, whatever you want to buy. And I'm not taking it out into my bank account. I'm spending it straight from Coinbase. And as I said, that crypto USDC is 1-to-1 to the dollar. It's what they call a stable coin. So there's several stable coins, USDC, USDT. So no matter what you're buying and selling your crypto at, when you transfer it over, you can transfer it over as USDC and then, spend it. So that's really just a very quick thumbnail sketch of the cryptocurrency world. And what really got our attention back in December when friends were sharing this opportunity with us, and when my son said, "Don't buy the coins, Dad, by the apple tree. And if what you're telling me is correct, then buy as many apple trees as you can. But really what got us into this substantially was when President Trump got elected back in November of 24, November 6th, I think it was. Within the first month, he had appointed the very first crypto czar, David Sachs, who was a COO of PayPal. And this is the first time in United States history that a president has elected a crypto czar. Why? Because the way that the world is going, and he wanted to do a couple of things. Number one, he wanted to have the United States vested in cryptocurrency as a Federal Reserve currency, not just the dollars and cents, because of where that was going and where crypto was going. So right now, your federal government has about $19 billion worth of cryptocurrency as a Federal Reserve currency. And so there were several lawsuits at the time left over from the Biden administration. So one of the first things he did in office in the January of 25, when he got in, President Trump pushed all those lawsuits away that was coming against the crypto industry, and actually in his executive order charged the United States agencies, federal agencies, to work together to make the United States a crypto capital of the world. We were about fifth in line at the time. Now we're pretty much, I think we are at the top because all the regulations have been moved away. So this is a prime time to get in there. And by March 7th of last year, our governor, Abbott, did the same thing. He signed not an executive order, but Senate Bill 21 here in Texas to make Texas the crypto capital of the Union of the United States, and also to hold cryptocurrency as a reserve currency within Texas. So we're in the very, very, very early stages of cryptocurrency becoming a form of exchange. And what got our attention with Texit Coin above all things, number one, cryptocurrency is the way to go. And there's thousands of cryptocurrencies out there. Which horse are you going to bet on? Well, when we looked at Texit Coin, the first thing that stood out to us, and then we drove up to McKinney, Texas in December of 24 to meet Bobby Gray, who is the founder of the Texit Coin economy or environment, and met with him, found out what his vision was. He's been in this industry for 16 or 17 years. Back in 2012, he was invited out to the House of Representatives to a subcommittee that was talking about and discussing alternate currencies for the United States, looking at gold, silver, precious metals, etc. Well, that was back in 2012, and they soon discovered that, you know, having a block of gold or silver in your pocket doesn't get you a cup of coffee at White Rhino. So we got to go digital. And so that's when they moved over to digital. But he's been in this industry for a decade or so now. And his vision is to see this as a tangible digital currency that we can use, buy and sell across Texas and around the world. Number two is they're limiting it to only 10% of overseas ownership so that it stays here. I would say that China, mainland China, probably mines 60% of cryptocurrency right now. And so if you were part of Bitcoin, you don't have control over that. China has the major control over that. So he wanted a currency, a crypto coin that was produced here in Texas, number one, exclusively mined in Texas. Secondly, that only 10% of it could be owned by overseas entities, individuals. But thirdly, it could not be bought out by, you know, huge corporations and multinational entities by buying 51% of the computer nodes and then taking it sideways and changing the whole philosophy and principles by which it was established. So you can only buy 9 mines. That's the max that you can buy. Now, I'll show you here in a minute how you can earn some more, but the max that you can buy is actually 9 mines. And so they limited it to that so that we don't have major corporations coming in and taking all this away from us. But fourthly, it's crowdsourced. And that's a new thing to cryptocurrency. We're probably the only crypto coin that's actually crowdsourced, which means major corporations cannot come in and buy it. So it's up to the mums and the pops and people like you and me to buy these mines and to grow it. So it's a lot slower process of growing because it is crowdsourced, but a lot more stable because not 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 entities can control it. So that's basically, in a nutshell, a big nutshell, what the crypto industry is all about. And it is here, and it is here to stay. So that's the world we're living in, guys. So let me get my little whiteboard here, and let me sketch out for you some numbers. Now, these numbers I'm going to show you here coming off our website. So let me go to share. All right, this is minetxc.com. So if you're new to this, write that down, MINETXC, MINETXC.com. And this is the overview. So all these figures are out here on the actual network, our website, not my personal website, Texit Coin website, for you to see. The good, the bad, the ugly, where we've been, where we're going, how many miners are involved, how many mines are being purchased. So right here, it shows you how many hash power. That translates into 298,200 mines that have been installed. Remember, I said it's a 1 million mine network. So we have about 29.8. So that's about 30% of the mines that have been installed across the network. And we've got four redundant backups. Our main center is in McKinney, Texas, on a farm. That's where we've got, 2 large computer bases there, but also in Victoria, Texas, in Mansfield, here in DFW area, and down in Conroe, Texas, just north of Houston, is another 400 computers operating there. And so ultimately, they're going to have 36 redundant centers across Texas and different regions of the electric grid, so that if one portion goes out, the others keep going, and they've got looking at different backup systems. So we are in the process of building these mines out. So we haven't reached the final destination. This is why it's an excellent time to come on in. So if you go to that website, you'll be able to see all the figures that I'm going to give you right now, but I'll pull these off so that you don't have to try to work out yourself how to do it. So I'm going to share off my whiteboard. As I said, there's 1 million mines that the network will hold over time. And each of these mines or computer nodes operate at 100 megahash. So if you buy one of these mines, you actually have a 100 megahash mine. If you buy 9, you have 900 megahash. So ultimately, the mine or the network will be 100 million megahash network. All right. So we have got, as I said before, we got 298,200 mines that have been purchased and are installed. So that's about 30% of the network has been built. All right. Now, people say, well, okay, you mentioned there's 95,000 coins produced on a daily basis. Will that go up as we add more mines? No, it won't, because the 95,000 coins that are produced on a daily basis are derived from the algorithm that's fed in. So we were only 10% built, you'd still be producing 95,000 coins a day. Now, as the mines increase in the installing that and these redundant backups, the efficiency will get better because you've got more computer nodes linked doing the same thing. So, for example, as I said, a blockchain is created every 3 minutes, and that's how the coins are getting rewarded out. The algorithms actually should be at 3 minutes for each blockchain, but we're about 4 minutes per blockchain because there's drag on the network because we don't have the efficiency yet of having all those mines installed. So because of the drag on the network in its production, we are producing blockchains about every 4 minutes. That's what's producing the 95,000 coins. So my hope is, and Bobby Gray has said this as well, when we get up to closer to the 100% of installed computer nodes, we may be at, and we should be at, 120,000 coins a day. So you may see the production of your coins go up just simply as these mines are growing because of that. So the algorithm is what determines that. And so what has been purchased by people like you and me is 231,400 mines that have been purchased. So you may own one of those or two of those. And So that's about, let's see, that's 23% of the network, of the ultimate network, that have been purchased. So they got more computers installed than what they had purchased by people like you and me. So that's great. So it's functioning that way right now. And so how many miners are there? People that own these computer nodes are called miners, because their computer nodes are mining the coins. So right now, as of 20 minutes ago, I checked it out, we got 58,463 miners. Okay, so 58,463 miners own these 231,400 mines. So that is about 4 mines each on average. That's what you're seeing people buy. Why are they buying more than one mine? Well, because they want to produce more coins. That 95,000 is spread out amongst the mines that are being purchased. If you own more mines, you get more share of those coins. That's the end game. That's where you want to be. If you can only afford one mine, that's fine. But then try to get more mines so you get more share of those coins, because the more coins you got, when you sell them, the greater value that they will bring in terms of money. So there's, as I said, there's 95,000 coins right now that are produced on a daily basis across the network. And that's daily. And so 7 days a week, you're getting coins. About 7 o'clock in the evening, as David said, your phone will ding, you take a look, and you got more coins added to your wallet, your digital wallet, and you weren't even thinking about it. So if I take that 95,000 coins and I'm going to divide them over the mines that have been purchased right here. So 95,000 divided by 231,400 mines, that's what it is. That's going to come to about 0.41 coins per mine per day. Now, where are we going with this? Well, ultimately, when we get to 1 million mines that have been purchased, and that 95,000 has to be divided by over 1 million mines, because that's what has been purchased ultimately. So where we're going ultimately, end of the day, that will be 0.095 coins per mine per day, because we're dividing it over this number. And so that's about what, 1/10 of a coin, let's say. So that's about where you'll be at the end of the game. So right now, you're about half a coin a day, just a little less than half a coin a day, but you're going to be going down to 1/10 of a coin as more mines are purchased. I'm telling you that now so you don't freak out and say, why aren't 3 months ago and I was making more coins? Look at that. What's happening? I'm making less coins. Well, because you're on the way down to 1/10 of a coin a day per mine. All right. So that's good to know, because of the strategy that you need in place as you're doing that. So we're looking at $995 per mine. That's one mine. Now, this is not multi-level marketing. The first guys that got in 2.5 years ago, well, 18 months ago, actually, let's see, May of 24 is when they first got onto Dex-Trade and sold at 3 cents per coin, actually 2.8 cents a coin. So your one mine is functioning at 100 mega hash, as I said earlier, and that's producing 0.4 coins a day. Ultimately, it'll be down to 1/10 of a coin. Just keep that in mind. That's where you're going to bottom out in terms of the whole network being sold, and you are producing your coins, selling those, etc. So the company allows you to buy 9 mines. That's the max you can buy, and you get 1 free. So if you do buy 9 mines, you get 1 free. So basically, you are functioning as if you got 10 mines, and that's producing 1 coin a day. I'm going to give you the scenario where we'll probably be in 6 months, all right? Just so that we're on the journey to this end. So I'm going to talk about this end so I don't just sort of trap you in the dollars and cents right it is today. So ultimately, if you bought 9 mines and get 1 free, you'll be making 1 coin a day, because each mine is doing 1/10 of a coin. So if you hold on to that coin, and in a year, you're going to have 365 coins, all right, in your wallet. Now, you can buy and sell coins if you want, or you just let that just build up your wallet. So 365 coins, if that coin is worth $50 a coin, and that's where we'll be going, and I'll show you here in a minute where we are on the ebb and flow of the price, but we'll be up to $50 a coin. Can't tell you when. If you have 365 coins and you sell them for $50 each, you're going to be at $18,250 for that year. Now, as I said earlier, you come home after you sold all your coins, you still own the mine. Your 9 mines, actually 10 mines, are still producing 1 coin a day. Forget about it, don't think about it, and come back next year and sell what you've got in your Apple case. So if you've got another 365 coins and the price of the coin has gone up to $100 that next year, you're going to be at $36,500 for that year. And that's something, and you probably put down close to 9,000, 8,985 maybe, and do it the next year. 365 coins you're making times $500, you got 182,500 for that year. So you see the power of producing your coins, not just buying coins and selling coins, but owning the mine that is actually producing those coins. And this is happening all day long, every day, 365 days of the year, you're producing those coins. So that is the best scenario to get the 9 mines if you can, because that's where they allow you to come in at this level buying 9 mines. You can buy 1 or 2 or 3. In fact, you got 30 days to get those 9 mines and get 1 free. You can buy 9 mines at any time, but if you do it within a 30-day period of when you first came on in, you'll get this 1 free right here. We get you up to the 10 mines, which is now producing 1 coin a day in that account once we get down to that level. Now, you're going to be producing more than 1 coin a day right now because we're just under half a coin per day per mine. So, but I'm just giving you the scenario where we're going so that you can sort of plan on that. Let me get out of this now, and I want to show you something on my screen that gives you an idea where we're at in terms of the flow of things. Let me get that. So this graph was created back in 2020. You can see that now. It was Forbes.com put that out, and it was released in December of 2020. So it's really not made for Texit Coin, but it fits Texit Coin and actually fits a lot of the commodities out there in the stock exchange, the rise and the fall and how this works. And this is just done with emojis. So when you first get in and it's rising, a lot of people get in when it's rising because they're looking at the price. And they're thinking, man, this is a great time to get in. It's climbing up. So they get in, and there's optimism and excitement and thrill. Some of you have seen this. I'm not going to spend a lot of detail on this, but just to really give you just a snapshot of it. But you get up to euphoria as this keeps coming up, and then it starts leveling off. People get complacent, and they say, well, it's just a correction in the market. But if that correction in the market keeps on going down and people start selling off, then it starts sliding down the other side. The more people are selling coins, it drives the price down. More people buying coins, it pulls it up. So the emotional response to the marketplace from human beings and their emotions puts that emotion into the marketplace. And so with thousands of people, and as we said, we got 58,000 people in Texit Coin that own 1 or more mines. And as they start selling off, it starts pushing the value of the price down. That's when people look at the price and they go into denial. This can't be happening because they rode this up. So they can't believe it's going down because all they had of an expectation was it was just going to keep on going up. Then they go into fear and then into panic, and then they start selling off after the fear aspect to get out as much as they can, and they're driving the price further down. And then you get into the bottom end here of anger. I saw that in December of last year, a lot of anger, Bobby Gray in the system, and then depression, shouldn't have got into this, I was taken advantage of, I didn't know what I was doing, but it's just bottoming out in the market. This is the ideal time down here to be buying the coins. You bought the mine, now buy some more coins to go into that mine, because as I said, your one mine's only producing 0.41 coins a day. That's not a lot. It's great when the value is up, but it doesn't look much at the time. So go get in here and buy a couple of $1,000s worth of coins, stick that in your wallet, because guess what's happened? We're starting to move up the other side. This is actually Texit Coin, and we fit that graph perfectly. So that from the beginning of time, back in May of 24, when we started, we sold at 2.8 cents a coin, basically 3 cents a coin on Dex-Trade, and then it started moving up. Lisa and I got in December of last year, and it was 8 cents a coin. Then we saw it go to 25 cents, and then 50 cents a coin, etc. And so up here, we climaxed at 6.50, close to $7 a coin, and started leveling off, and then started coming down again. This is very, very typical of the market. It doesn't mean Texit Coin is crashing and the whole thing's folding and it's a rug pull and Bobby's taken off to the Bahamas. This is just a natural thing. As I showed you before, that graph was created back in 2020. All right. So let me put some real numbers up on here for you. I'm only going to highlight 4 of them. I'm not going to go through all this. But optimism last year was about 45 cents a coin. So in March of 25, once we started getting closer to the 50 cents a coin, people started getting very optimistic about Texit Coin, because when you're at 8 cents a coin and 9 cents and 10 cents, or before that 4 cents a coin, that's chicken feed. People aren't excited about that. But once they see that climbing up and you're getting to 50 cents, you're thinking more of the dollar now and the $2. So that's where optimism started, and excitement and thrill. Our euphoria last year happened in about September, where it hit the 650 mark. People couldn't believe it. They'd never seen anything like this before. And then it started leveling out, correcting itself, because that was too high a jump too soon. And so people got very complacent. They said, well, it's just correcting itself, but we'll continue to keep moving on up. But you see, we hit the top, and we started coming down the other side, and that's when all those emotions go crazy. Denying it, can't believe it, fear, panic. And then it came down to December of last year to $1. And now we're in January, we're about 65 cents a coin. So what happens here? This top point is the maximum financial risk. If you're buying coins, you don't want to get in at this point, but a lot of people do because of the climb. It's just going crazy. So let's get in. Well, you may buy at the height, and then you start coming down the other side. So the bottom is the maximal financial opportunity. This is where we are right now. So it's not just a matter of buying the mine, which is great. You definitely need to buy a mine so that for the next 136 years, you are producing coins. This is why this is generational wealth. It's just not going to stop with you, but your children and grandchildren will own this account, and it'll continue to produce coins. The algorithm initially set up for 137 years. So we're close to 135 years left in this whole cycle. So you want to be buying coins right now. If you've got another couple of $1,000, $5,000 or $500, go on and buy some coins at 65 cents each, because you're going to start coming around the other bend. Why is that important? Because at $1.50, when it comes up, we're going to get hope put back into the market, relief at $2.50, and then optimism at $4.50. Now look back last year where the first cycle was, where optimism was at 45 cents. If I told you the coin was 45 cents now, because you've come through the first cycle, you would say the whole company's over, it's finished, it's done with. But if I said the coin was 45 cents in March of last year, when you were there, you'd be excited, you'd be static, because you came through when it was 4 cents a coin, 8 cents a coin, 10 cents a coin, 12 cents a coin. So, it could be exactly the same price as it was last year. Now we're depressed because we're up on the top point of the roller coaster. The emotion's going to come in for optimism now at $4.50, not at 45 cents. And what does that mean? It means that our euphoria, the top part of the next wave, is going to be higher than the previous one. So this is where we're going with this, and I don't have a crystal ball, so I can't give you the exact times on this. Once we get into these other parts over here, as you can see, then, I'm speculating. I don't have a date on that. I'll have to come back and put a date on that. But we were 10 times higher in optimism than what we were last year. Last year we were at 45 cents. Now we're going to be optimism. That's going to be back in the emotions of the miners and the marketplace at $4.50. So we are probably going to be at our highest point, our euphoria, probably at $55 to $65. So what do you want to keep an eye on? If you wanted to sell coins, and as I said, this is independent of your owning the mine and producing coins, then you want to be looking at this curve here coming up this year sometime. We'll be up at the point. If it levels off, if the next month is the same price or going down a bit, you want to probably sell 10% of your coins, because you don't know whether that's just flattening out and going to go back up again, or whether it's reached its peak and it's coming down the other side. So sell 10%. If it keeps on coming down, sell another 10%, and then just hang on and let it come on down. Then start taking that money that you sold and use that money to buy at the bottom end and bring it on through and come again. So that's how that whole thing will operate for you. And let me see what else. Well, I mentioned this guy to you earlier. This is the guy, Ayatollah Khomeini, who sent $1.5 billion of cryptocurrency to Dubai. They're not packing their bags with gold and silver and dollars anymore. It's cryptocurrency. So now's the time to get on board. As I said, we are in the anger and depression cycle. And listen, if you get onto Texit Coin, if you get onto Telegram, you'll see it. People are mad, upset. They don't understand. They're ignorant of these cycles, and this is the best time to be part of Texit Coin. Getting in now, the price of the mine's not going to change. It's always going to be $9.95, but the price of those coins, if you want to add to that, would be beneficial as well. All right, let me get back onto my whiteboard, and I'm just going to throw some numbers out here as we pull this thing on around. So let me give you the best scenario. And of course, there's no pressure on this, guys. You can just say, yeah, it sounds great, and walk away. No one's going to hound you. And there's no great deals like if you don't make a decision by 10 o'clock tonight, you lose out on the deal. There's none of that. We're just giving you the information and the education so that you make a sound decision and make that decision with peace and not with anxiety. So here's your best case scenario. I'm going to give that to you. Best case scenario is to buy 9 mines if you can. Again, no pressure. You get that one free. And you got 30 days to do this. So if you want to come in and get 1 mine, 2 mines, 3 mines, but you got 30 days to get that where you want it, then you'll get that one free. So again, the best case scenario is to get you 10 mines, because you'll be producing 1 coin a day when all those mines are sold. And we want you guys to get in and own a mine. I don't want to tell you in 6 months, come on in, and you say to me, what's the price of the mine right now? And I'm saying, well, I'm sorry, there's no more mines left. You can buy coins if you want, buy and sell those. But we want you to get in while there's mines and get as many mines as you can, because once they've all gone, once 1 million is gone, it's over. And as I said earlier, I think 23% have already gone. So 9 mines, 1 coin a day. And I would say the best case scenario then is to buy $5,000 worth of coins, if you can. It's not a big deal. While we're in the depressed anger period, get out there while everybody's mad and upset and go ahead and buy those coins. So you've spent, what, 8,955 on those 9 mines, and you spent 5,000 on coins, okay? So you spent $13,955. All right. If you took that 5,000 here and bought those coins, so 5,000, all right, and they're at 65 cents each, you're going to get 3,250 coins. While everybody's mad and upset and spitting and chewing and thinking that there's a rug pull or Bobby's taken off to the Bahamas because they saw it go from 5.50 down to 65 cents, and everybody's mad. But they shouldn't be mad because it doesn't affect your production of coins. The price goes up and down. It's on the open market. But it doesn't affect your mines. You bought 1 mine, 9 mine, whatever. It's still producing those same amount of coins, regardless of what the price of the coin is out on the marketplace. That's why this is so exciting, because it doesn't affect that. So in 365 days, you've produced X number of thousand coins, and you just wait for the price to go up and then sell off 10 or 20%. It's not affecting you. That's what you spent. So if you wait for that coin to be $50 a coin, you bought it for 65 cents, we're going to go to $50 a coin, then you have just sold those coins that you bought, the $5,000 you spent, and you got 3,250 coins out of that, then you are at $162,500 if you wait to sell them at the $50 mark. Look what you put in. Your investment was $13,000. You bought 9 mines, but the coins you bought, you only put $5,000 in for those coins. And now in 12 months, 8 months, 10 months, you've sold them and you got $162,500. So $5,000 off that, you actually just made a profit of $157,500. Isn't that cool? So this is what I'm telling my people. Don't get freaked out. Listen, this is great. Thank God we're at the bottom of the market. Go and get those coins. So that's the best case scenario. Buy as many mines as you can. Get 2,000, 3,000, doesn't matter how many. I'm just saying 5,000. But no matter what you buy, if you buy that, those coins are going to go up in value. And just on the coins alone that you bought, you'd be able to make a huge difference. So let me give you a next case scenario. Maybe we'll call this B, of course. And if you bought 1 mine, okay, 1 mine, that's all you can afford, that's great. No pressure. So I'm telling people, listen, buy some mines and buy coins. I didn't used to say that. I just said buy the mines because the mines were producing enough coins a day because there wasn't a lot of people in. Now that we're down to 0.41 coins a day, I'm telling people, buy a mine or two and then buy coins as well. Get yourself set up. You can do that in the back office and go and buy those coins. So say, for example, you bought 1 mine and you said, I'll buy $2,000 worth of coins. So really you spent $3,000, $1,000 for the mine and $2,000 for the coins. Let's look at that. $2,000 on the coins, you go out there and buy them at 65 cents each. You're going to have 1,300 coins right now because you get more coins because the price of them is down. You wait 10 months, and the price of the coin's gone up to $50 a coin, you can now pull out, go and sell them $65,000. Who would like $65,000 in 8 or 10 months? It's unbelievable. These figures, they're too good to be true. That's where you're going to end up if you buy the coin. So I'm telling people, do this and do that at whatever you can. And then again, you got 30 days. If you want to buy more mines, you can, up to 9 mines, and get that one free. So if you've spent $2,000 on buying coins now and wait for that to go up to $50, your profit is, what's that, $63,000 profit. That's a income. That's a year's income that you didn't work for. Your mind did it for you, and the marketplace did it for you. So that's where we're at right now. I wanted to share those things with you today because it's a very, very powerful opportunity. And you just need to work. All you need to do, well, let me give you the worst case scenario. Number C. Worst case scenario? Do nothing. That's the worst case scenario. So I have not gone into the commission side of this. I purposely didn't do that because you can get too much information and you can't process it. So I just wanted in this session with you guys, just show you the power of owning a mine. You're buying either one or up to 9 mines. You got 30 days to get the 9 mines and get that one free and start producing those coins. You will get one of these things right here in the mail, a coin. This is basically a token to show you your account, and on the back of it's got the code. That code gets you into your account, into your app, to see those daily coins being produced. And so this is called a cold wallet. Nobody can take those coins out. Nobody can get into your account and get that out because this is not on the network. When you are ready to sell your coins and cash out 10%, 20%, or all of them, there's no stipulations on that. It's your mine and your coins. This is why it's not multi-level marketing. You don't get a percentage of everybody's coins or mines. You stand alone with your mines and your coins. So, but when you're ready to cash out, you take that coin token out of this packet, peel that sticky thing off the back, and there's a QR code underneath that you can't see unless you get it out. You scan that in the same app, and now that turns your cold wallet into a hot wallet. Now you can take those coins out. You'll have a send code right now. I mean, a send button. Right now, you only have a receive button. People can send you coins, but you can't get them off until it turns into a hot wallet. And then you can send those coins over to an exchange and sell them for whatever that price is. Move that back to Coinbase. Maybe by then we'll be on Coinbase. Right now, we're not on Coinbase. Some guy told me, a couple of months ago, when we're on Coinbase, to let him know. I'm saying, listen, guy, when we get on the Coinbase, it's too late, because right now we're in the non-big markets. We're not on Kraken and Coinbase. And if you want to get in, you don't want to wait till we get onto Coinbase. It's all over. You can buy and sell coins at that point, but you can't own the mines. So we have to build up to qualify to get onto those. So you want to get in now while you have the opportunity of buying multiple mines and getting set up for that. So this is the best time to get in, because you can get your mines while they're still available, and you can buy coins if you want to get some additional coins along the way, because your mine is not producing. When we got in, we were making 40 coins a day, because I think there's only 685 people in Texit Coin when we got in December of 24. Now there's 58,000 miners that are in, so that spread is thinner and thinner. So since we're not producing as many coins because of that spread, but the price of the coins is cheap, dirt cheap, go and grab them. Pull them into your account, sit there for 6 to 10 months, and then hopefully the market's back up to the top again, and you can sell those off. So there's a whole nother dimension of this. If you want to share this with other people, the company's set up to give you free mines. So you can buy 9 max, but you can get as many mines gifted to you from the company because you're helping other people get in. I won't go into the details now, but we'll do that at another time. But I just want to share this opportunity with you to get you set up and get yourself established. And then later on, we can go into more depth. The reason why the company gives you mines for helping other people get on is because we're crowdsourced. They don't have billions of dollars that are going to Disney World or the advertising on TV and trying to get these major corporations in. So there's billions of dollars that they normally be using in advertising and going after the big companies. That $1 billion is spread out amongst you and me because we're crowdsourcing this particular project. So as you help them bring other people in, they give you a free mine for every third person that you bring into this opportunity. And we'll go over that in details at another time. But that's just basically where we're at and why this is an ideal time and why we want you to take advantage of this right now.